What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to talk about AMC, GME as well as the broader market. So today AMC was down for 3.74% for the day. It had a high of $12.01. The average volume on AMC is around 49.54 million, but today's volume was around 24.76 million, which is almost clearly indicating that it's a dead volume that's coming in AMC. A lot of investors are literally scared right now to buy any AMC or GME stock as well. Now let's come over to the GameStop. The GameStop was up for 0.49% for the day. It had a high of $97.28. The average volume on GameStop is around 4.45 million, but today's volume was again, it's very low in GME as well. That's 1.75 million, which is almost a dead volume that's coming into GameStop. As well as AMC, the volume was pretty low today. There are a lot of investors who are just not interested in buying these two stocks right now. But I personally believe we need a momentum in the overall broader market to have any kind of a upward aggressive momentum coming into those two stocks. Now let's come over to the SPY. The SPY was up for 1.87% for the day. It had a high of $397.73. And something happened in the aftermarket. We just have no clear-cut idea what has happened, but the broader market seems to be like going down for some reason. It's already down 0.90% in the aftermarket, and we can see Amazon over here, it's already down 2.38% in the aftermarket. We don't know what's happening, but this seems to be like some sort of a major sell-off that is happening in the aftermarket. And when we look over Google, it's down for 3.55% for the day. That's a lot of downtrend that's coming into the Google in the aftermarket. Something extreme is happening. We don't know what's happening right now. There is no news that is coming out of anywhere which indicates that there is some sort of a significant downtrend that's we're going to expect. There is no news. There is no Fed member that's been speaking out there. There is no news coming out of Russia, and we don't know anything regarding coronavirus. There is no negative news out there, but the stock market seems to be like going down pretty badly in the aftermarket. Now when we have a look over to the Facebook is down for 7.82% in the aftermarket. There is no news that's coming out of the company. Just the Snap shares are down 29.95% in the aftermarket. There was no earnings on it. It's just the company came out and they said they might be getting a little bit low onto the estimates for this earnings, and which is creating a downtrend in Facebook as well. But there are many other stocks in the overall broader market which are going down significantly in the aftermarket. Now let's come over to the options flow for the AMC. Now I have increased the premium to max and see what exactly the whales are doing. This whale came in today and he's betting $111,000, and he's buying a $85 put option that's going to expire in 241 days, and he's betting that the AMC is going to go down from here onwards. Now when I bring down the premium a little bit and see what exactly the retail and the mini whales are doing, definitely retail is having some sort of a confidence towards the upside. They are buying some of the call options, but majority of them again are on to the downside. This $17 put option that came in with same expiration date indicates that it will still keep going down further onwards, and they are having some sort of a conviction towards the downside. And these $35 put option as well, they were all on to the downside, and they are betting that the AMC will keep going down from here onwards. And when I bring up the put to call ratio chart, we can see that the put side is 84% and the call side is 16%. The premium is still pretty heavy onto the put side as compared to the call side. Now the put volume is 57.5%, the call volume is 42.5%, which indicates that still a lot of investors are betting that the AMC will keep going down from here onwards. But like I have mentioned already, the AMC and GME, their aggressive upward momentum, it all comes down to the overall broader market. If the overall broader market have a upward momentum, so does AMC and GME. We are due for a bounce, but what is happening in the aftermarket right now, we have no idea what's happening. We just have to wait and see how this is going to play out. Now let's come over to the options flow for the GameStop. Now I've increased the premium to max and see what exactly the whales are doing. Both of these whales were on to the downside, and they are betting that the GME will keep going down from here onwards. Now when I bring down the premium and see what exactly the retail and the mini whales are doing, majority of them are on to the downside, but there was quite a bit of call buying also happening in the GameStop. I personally believe the GameStop is pretty much oversold, because the kind of strength that we have seen around 130 and $140, that's pretty quite promising, but majority of them are onto the downside. You can see this $100 put option that came in with same expiration there, and they are all betting that the GME is going to keep going down from here onwards. The $100 puts were there in quite a lot of numbers, which were indicating that the GameStop will keep going down from here onwards. There were a lot of $100 put with the same expiration of 52 days came in today, and they are all betting it will keep going down from here onwards. But there was a little bit of call buying, like I mentioned. When I bring up the put to call ratio chart, the call is 20% and the put side is 80%. The volume on put side is pretty heavy. It's almost around 91.4%. The premium on the put side is pretty heavy, 76.1%. Now this thing can change completely if there is some sort of a upward momentum coming into the SPY, but we are not expecting anything big to be happening. We don't know what happened in the aftermarket, but there is a quite a bit of sell off that's been happening. Now let's come over to the SPY. I've increased the premium to max and see what exactly the whales are doing. Now the big whale that came in today, this individual was buying a $430 call option, which is actually out of the money, and that's going to expire in 241 days, and he was betting $10.4 million dollars, and he's buying 7,000 contract, and he's betting that the SPY is going to go up from here onwards. Now the kind of weird market that we had today, the SPY, the QQQ, Nasdaq, and the Dow Jones were all up significantly, but there was not much upward momentum coming into the overall broader market stocks. Now when I bring down the premium and see what exactly the mini whales and the retail is doing, majority of them are again on to the downside, but there were quite a lot of call buying that was happening today, and they were expecting that the SPY might keep going up from here onwards. Now as we can see, this individual bought the call option when the SPY was around 395.77. Right now the SPY has already gone down to 393.48 in the aftermarket, and the kind of downtrend that we are experiencing right now in the aftermarket, it seems to be like the SPY will keep going down from here onwards. Now when I bring down the premium a slight bit more and see what exactly the smaller retail are doing, majority of them again are on to the downside. There is no clear cut indication coming right now in the overall broader market, and there is no news which can create some sort of a good momentum into the SPY. A lot of retail already bought a long put option into the SPY and many other stocks, and they were all betting that the majority of the overall broader market is going to go down from here onwards, and that's what's happening right now. But I personally believe you should be very careful in this kind of a scenario, because there could be a big reversal and all these puts are going to get crushed really badly by the market maker, just like what happened today. The kind of pump that we got in the indexes, everybody might be expecting that we might be getting some sort of a bounce coming into the SPY, and people started buying some call options into it. And then what happened in the aftermarket, everything is almost going down. Amazon, Google, they're down quite a bit in the aftermarket. We just have to see what's going to happen, but it seems to be like it's the starting of a major sell off that's we are experiencing the aftermarket. But we never know, market can change in the morning. Hope for the best. Hope so you like my video. Please like and subscribe my channel, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Cheers.